Okay, finally recording. So as I was saying, what I'd really like for you to do tonight is, I know, just even the little bit that I got to talk to Chris, I know that he is such a motivating speaker. I know that we're all going to sit here and be mesmerized probably. And even when you complete, some of the workouts that we got to do in Punta Cana, they're just really moving. And we're going to talk about that throughout the call. But before you kind of get into the state that you're just listening, really, I want you to take mental note. I want you to, from the beginning, write down 2 things on your paper. Write down, what did I love about this call and what did I learn from this call? And so that way you can kind of be, and if you were on the John Maxwell call today, for those of you who were in Success Club last month, or in the month of April, you heard him say that. That's exactly where I got it. I can't take credit for it. But, it's a great thing to really have that awareness that when you're going into something, what am I going to learn from this? And how can I, then apply it throughout the rest of the week? So I'm going to change our view to speaker view so we can see Chris. And who is, we got somebody. Let me mute again. Okay. Okay. And Chris, are you muted? No. You're unmuted. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh, I'm unmuted.
Okay. Yes, I hear you now. That's funny. Okay, so Chris, thank you. I appreciate you jumping on our call tonight. I know you've been really busy. I've been seeing you pop up on lots of team calls, so thank you for joining us. And we're excited to hear about Shift Shop and also to kind of hear more about you, your story, the creation of Shift Shop, and what we can expect as we move through it and take our clients through it as well.
Okay, there's some pressure there.
A little bit. I mean, I already said mesmerized. Let's go ahead.
Well, I guess the easiest way to do it is just roll the questions and just let it be open to everybody. I don't want you to play it safe. Just kind of, open up, your questions, whatever you want to know, whatever you need that you think is going to help you get a better understanding of me as a person and the Shift Shop.
Okay, perfect. You know what I'm going to do really quick, just to kind of avoid some of the stuff that they can look up on their own, is I'm going to share screen really quick because I pulled up earlier the FAQs, and these are in our online office. So just really quick, because I know you probably get these questions over and over, and I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste our time with stuff that we can be looking at in the online office. But in the FAQs, guys, you have all this information. It tells you, obviously, the trainer is Chris Downing. The workout lengths are 25 to 45 minutes a day, 6 days a week. Is there a modifier? Yes, we'll ask Chris more questions about that. It's going to be available July the 12th is what it's saying here, which is right when we get to Summit. It's going to be loaded right into Beachbody On Demand. So those of you who have all access, you're going to have access to the program right away. Under the frequently asked questions, again, they ask about the modifier. Why does everybody want to know about the modifier? Should we yeah, just a little bit. And then, guys, all this kind of basic information that we get with all new program releases is in here. So I know lots of you have already asked me to kind of ask questions about the modifier, about the nutrition plan. So we can kind of start with that and then move into the funner stuff from there. But we'll start with the modifying question. Who can do this?
Anybody that wants to be the best they can be. That, when we came together to create the program, it was, I really, based off, where I came from and how I had to navigate through so much to get to this place, there was just no guarantee that there would be another project. So I felt like, this one had to touch every person. It needed to be available and welcoming to any person that needed to lose 100 pounds to, anyone is extremely fit. So anyone with the desire to be the best they can be can do this program. But the modifier, there's zero impact. And the modifier is just as important as, the extreme athlete or the everyday gym goer. The program is not based on any form of judgment, any form of ego. The exercises weren't created to make you feel inadequate or to break you. It was created to bring out the best in you. So yeah, anyone can do the program.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, I know I'll just switch the screen really quick. How many of you were in Punta Cana that got to try out Chris's program with him there? Yeah, we've got quite a few on the line on the.
Francine did both arms.
Yeah. She's like, I did it every day. I saw Lara. I saw, yeah, Lesia. There's lots of us here who were able to see that. And even when you brought, I'm forgetting her name right now. Even when you brought the one girl up on stage that first day when we were there, the first round, and you know, obviously she was doing the modification, but it was just so inspiring to watch her and really, you know, see everybody circle around and support her.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Shift Shop's about, you know,
Mhm.
supporting each other. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. And then another question that everybody wants to know, and I know it's not necessarily in the frequently asked questions. So I've heard from some of the people who are doing the program a bit about it, but if you could tell us a little bit more about the nutrition.
So the nutrition plan was really created from an experience that I had. So prior to this, I did a lot of modeling and acting. So it's so strange, but you know, Denis asked. He said, "So how do you want to create this program? What do you do to lean out?" And I said, "Well, I could just cut my carbs." He said, "You do what?" I said, "I just cut my carbs." He said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, it's tough. I just cut them cold turkey. And, you know, what I would do is when I was doing modeling and acting a little more, you know, once I would get a month out from a photo shoot or a big job, I would just cut my carbs. And so what happened was around the 7th, 8th, or 9th day, I would just start getting these symptoms. Like I would get headaches, I would feel tired, I'd be irritable. It just wasn't myself, but I would just power through it. And then, you know, by the time I got to my, you know, my shoot, you know, I was in great shape, but I was missing something. I was missing a shift. I was missing a very important component that I was doing and not even realizing it. And it was this one shoot I had that I had to prepare for it. I'd been eating junk and just eating whatever I wanted. And I had to cut those carbs again. And so this time, the headaches, 7th, 8th, 9th day, headaches came and just irritable and tired, just didn't like myself. And I started asking myself, why does this always happen around this same time frame? Like, what does this mean? And so it just clicked that those symptoms was trying to take me back to my mediocre self. They were trying to take me back to my complacency. They was trying to take me back to what was comfortable. And what I failed to realize, what I was doing ignorantly, not calling myself stupid, but not knowing, is after those 7th, 8th, 9th day, the headache I had, all of a sudden I had better thoughts, clearer thoughts. It, lack of energy, I was more energetic than I was in years. And then my complexion started changing. And I would look in the mirror, oh shit, now I got abs after like 12 days. And I was missing all of this. And what really, really stuck out to me is when that temptation or those symptoms surfaced, I had to tell myself all of this goodness was behind it. It was all these things that I really needed to myself to take in front of the camera to be the best that I could be, was on the other side of the temptation, on the other side of that agitation, on the other side of that discomfort. And it was just so apparent to me. So when I brought that to Denis, he was like, that's cool, but we can't do that to them. I said, you're right, because people will get divorces. Somebody's going to rob a bank. Somebody's going to shoot their neighbor. It's just going to be all bad if you take carbs from people. So what we did is we start out week 1, you get starches. And in week 2, we take a little bit of starches away. In week 3, you don't get starches. And I kind of train you to do what I did after that 7th, 8th, 9th day, which was to train your body to use stored fat for energy instead of carbs. So when your body uses stored fat, it leans you out. So that's why when you guys have been seeing the Shift Shop test group and people after 12 days, like, oh my gosh, look at their body is eating fat. There's no carbs. So they're using stored fat for energy and it's just leaning them out. So that's the whole concept of the meal plan. But you get fruits and veggies all throughout the program. We just take away the starches.
Right. So it's not zero carbs. Just
no. It's just all the stuff that make you smack your teeth and smack your lips when you eat.
Pizza, fries, right.
Yeah. The stuff that make you lick your fingers.
Yeah. Okay. So somebody is asking really quick right now, and it's a great question. Is there a maintenance plan for afterwards? Like, is this something that you do like the Fix Extreme, that we had a really extreme type 3-week focus, and then you just kind of went back into a regular container pattern? Or how do you do this long term, or do you do it long term, or is this just like a focus thing?
So you can convert it to long term. So the best way to do it is you'll follow week 1, 2, 3, and
Mm.
then excuse me, and then if you want to stretch out to 6 weeks, week 4 on week 4 you will go back to week two's meal plan, which is less carbs. We actually week 4 and 5 you'll do week two's meal plan, which is less carbs, and then week 6 you will go right back to no carbs. So it's kind of like a couple weeks of carbs, no carbs, which is actually going to trick your body, and then you can kind of just from there you're going to be in such a better state mentally, physically. You're going to know how to manage your body at that point. You'll have complete control over the direction you want to take your body. You'll know, okay, I'm gonna have carbs for 2 days. I'm gonna take a day off of carbs, and you just continue to get great results.
So that's awesome, because I know a lot of us have heard about carb manipulation or carb cycling, and this is basically a guided program to do that, right?
Somewhat. I don't want to say carb cycling,
Yeah.
but if you kind of look at it like that, you are kind of.
Yeah, doing that. Okay, I need to see. Okay. The sneak peek, Christy, is coming on Monday as far as the workout goes. The nutrition, I don't think will be released until the actual program release.
Cut your carbs. I'm joking.
Hold on, don't get them cranky yet. No, I'm kidding. Okay, awesome. So any other things that you want to talk about specific to Shift Shop before I kind of dig into you a little bit? Because we're all curious, who's this Chris guy? How did anything else about Shift Shop, guys, specific?
Any questions?
What equipment is needed? That's in the frequently asked questions. It comes with them. You can order the markers, and then you'll also have an option to use the sandbag, which some of you may already have from Hardcore, and anything else, weights, hand weights.
Medium to light dumbbells.
Right. Okay. All right. They're all jumping in now. What's your story? Who's Chris? Okay. So Chris, we heard, and everybody knows that you were actually recruited by Carl Deichler, our CEO. So can you kind of give us the background? Like, where did that come from? How did this happen?
So, oh man, you know what I'm going to do? After this call, record this. I'm just going to just play it every time I do
Over and over.
I've told this story at least 90 times.
Make it 91 and do this in the best.
It's all good because it's actually, you know, it's what brought me to this place. So it's just a crazy story. So anyway, basically what happened was 2 years I got in trouble. 2 years ago, I got in trouble. I got a drug charge. And so what happened was there was this apartment. And in the apartment, it was a duplex. And so my son and his mother lived on one side, and on the other side, it was vacant. And so there was a person who had some drugs sent to this address, and he was supposed to retrieve the package, and he didn't. And so what happened was I'm at the house visiting my son and his mom, and I saw the police go by, and I just thought they were patrolling the area. I didn't think nothing about it. And then what happened was it got my license plate, and they had already confiscated the package. And so immediately my car's in the driveway. They said, that's Chris Downing's drugs, or that he has something to do with this. And, you know, they were kind of shocked, upset, because I'm a pretty popular person, you know, in my town. I train several of the high school athletes, several of the high school teams, all the pro guys from my hometown. And so my gym was pretty popular. And so the next day, I'm over there visiting again. Actually, they were in the process of moving back into my home. And so this package arrives, and I saw the package on the porch, never touched it, never opened it. I looked, and it was in my son's mom's name. And I looked at her, and I said, "You order something?" And she was like, "No, did you order me something?" I was like, "No." And so we looked at the package, and she said, "Why was I don't know, it's in my name though." I said, "I don't know. That's why I asked if you ordered it." And before you knew it, it was like the A-team. The police came around the corner. And there was like some unmarked cars on the street. They busted out the cars, and they just swooped on me. And they were like, come here, Chris. And I'm like, at this point, I'm shocked. Like, what's going on? And they said, you know, empty your pockets. So I emptied my pockets. I had my cell phones and like $80 in my cash in my pocket. And the guy was like, you know, you're in a lot of trouble, right? And I'm like, I am? Like, why? Like, what did I do? Come on, don't play games with us. You know, we know that you're behind, you know, those drugs in that box. I said, what drugs? I said, in the box. I said, I don't have anything to do with that. Right. Your car was here. And so they grabbed my son's mom, and they said, is Chris a drug dealer? And she was like, no. The guy works 80, 90 hours a week. He's not a drug dealer. You know there's drugs in that box, right? And she said, there's what? And so they put us together, and he's asking me, so whose drugs are they? I said, sir, I don't know. They're not mine. And they asked her, so he doesn't know whose drugs they are, and you're saying they're not yours. So somebody's got to go down for this box. Somebody.
Yeah, I'm looking.
What's up, dude?
Well, it's for yours.
Yeah, look.
Come here. Wave to the people, please.
Hey. We're all falling in love with him on social media.
I got them apart for you.
Okay, buddy. Thank you. All right. So back to the story. So they said, well, somebody's going down for this box. Chris, you're saying it's not yours. She's saying it's not hers, but it's in her name. So I guess she's taking a hit for it. I said, what do you mean taking a hit for it? It's in her name. I said, so wait a minute. You're going to arrest her over something she don't know about?
Hang on. I'm going to mute everybody that might mute you. And then just unmute yourself. Okay, we got it. Can you unmute yourself again?
Okay. So he said, somebody's got to go down for this box. You're saying it's not yours. She's saying it's not hers, but it's in her name. I said, so you're going to arrest her over something that she had nothing to do with? She said, well, did you have something to do? I said, no. Well, we don't know that. It's in her. I said, then it's my box then. He said, what do you mean it's your box? I said, is she going to get in trouble if I say it's my box? And he said, are you saying it's your box? It's my box. It's your box. Absolutely, it's mine. Is she off? If you're saying it's your box, we can't arrest her. I said, it's my box then. So you're admitting that it's yours. Absolutely, it's mine. And so you understand what this is going to do for your life. Yeah, I understand it's my box. And so they get me to the police station. They put me in an interrogation room, and the officer's like, so where'd the package come from? It's in your best interest to help us so we can help you. And I just sat there and I'm like, I don't know. He said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I don't know. I get it. You don't want to tell on the person who sent you the drugs, but you're in a lot of trouble, dude. He's like, you might want to give up a name. I said, I don't know whose box it is. I don't know who sent the box. But you said it was yours. It is mine. Well, how do you not know who sent the box? And I kind of got mad in there. I said, I don't know who sent the box. I don't know. And he kind of looked at me, and he walked out. He said, give me a minute. Walked out, came back in. He said, look here, man, I'm going to try to get you out of here on just a signature. Something's not right about the story, but you're going to have to get a lawyer, a good lawyer, and you're going to have a situation on your hands. You got to have some explaining to do. So he said, let me talk to my boss and see if that's going to work. So he went to his boss, and his boss said, absolutely not. He's a public figure booking. So he walks in, they're back in the room. He said, dude, I'm really sorry. I got to book you. And I was like, book me? What does that mean? Because I've never been in trouble in my life, man. I've never had handcuffs on myself. I'm like, what does book mean? We got to process you into jail, and the media is going to find out in about an hour. I said, oh, wow. And so they put me in a holding cell, and I had to go through the whole process. And that was probably the worst 8 hours of my life, man. It was horrible. And so I bonded myself out after the process was over, and I had to go to court the next day. I think I got home like 1:30 in the morning, and court was at 8. And people already knowing I got in trouble because the repository already came out after midnight. So the courtroom was packed, man. And they actually bumped my court time up a little bit because they didn't want any media attention. They just didn't want it to get out of hand because of my popularity in the town. And so, I went to court, and I didn't even have a lawyer. And then I ended up getting a lawyer, and that was it. That was the worst 24, 48 hours of my life. I mean, I got crushed by my community. He's a drug smuggler. He's around our kids. He trains our teams. And, what a negative influence. And I knew that no person could have 2 gyms and be that successful. I hope he stays in prison for a long time. And he's a menace to our community and just eating me alive. And what really, that part of it, I had to kind of see from their perspective because of what they read, even though they didn't know the truth. I kind of had to, I was man enough to say, I can't fault them for feeling that way, even though it's not true. And I was okay with that. I was able to deal with that. But what I struggled with was my daughter. My daughter, she started getting bullied at school. Oh, your dad's a drug dealer. So all this time, we've been thinking he's this motivator, this influencer, this stand-up citizen, and here he is smuggling drugs, and that's why you drive that car, and I hope he goes to jail for a long time. So, any kid that's a daddy's girl, which I raised my daughter since she was 2 months old by myself, she's going to defend her father. And so she came home and she's upset. She said, why won't you tell the truth? Why don't you tell the police that the drugs wasn't yours? I said, sweetheart, I already admitted it was mine. And so the person who actually was responsible for it came to me and said, dude, I'm so sorry, man. I can't believe I did this to your life. He was like, let me just go to the police myself and say it was me. I said, man, they're going to think you covering for me. It ain't going to work. And so I said, I got to eat it. My daughter's like, eat what? Are you serious? What if you go to prison? You don't understand. Like, we're going to lose everything. And she just couldn't understand. Like, Dad, tell the truth. Tell them that it's not your stuff. I said, sweetheart, it ain't that easy. And so the police took my cell phones and they called me and they said, hey, we want to give you your phones back. They had them for like 5 days. And the officer said, I done been all the way through this phone. I didn't restore emails you've deleted. I checked every package you've ever purchased in FedEx and UPS, and there's zero trace of a drug package in your phone. I don't know what's going on, but something's not right. He said, I'm going to give you your phones back. By the way, you got some really good workouts on there. So I said, thanks, man. So I grabbed my phone and I left. And so, again, my daughter started getting bullied even more. There's these apps you can get on your cell phone where you can choose a number. You pay a couple bucks, you can choose a number. And when you choose a number, like, that person can, like, I could call you, I can text you, you can only text me back, but you can't call me back. So my kids started getting tormented, like mentally, psychologically tormented, because people will call in the middle of the night, there's drugs on your porch, your dad's going to jail forever. She'd jump up, we run up the steps, which would freak me out. So I run out of my room and we meet in the hallway. I'm like, what's the problem? Someone put drugs on our porch. I'm like, sweetheart, no one's putting drugs on the porch. But I just started watching my kid, man, just fall apart mentally. It just started breaking me. And so from there, she just kind of just lost her mind. And so we weren't getting along, and she didn't want to be at the house anymore. And I kind of understood it. So she went to her grandma's one weekend, and we have a rule in my house where if she goes for the weekend, she has to have her laundry done before she leaves. And if not, she stays home for the weekend. It has to be done Sunday by 6. So I come home on a Friday, and I go to put my clothes in the washer, and there's like her stuff's everywhere. So I'm thinking, okay, she's not home. She went to Starbucks or Target or something. And so I waited for like 45 minutes, finally I called her like, hey, you gonna come do your laundry? No, I'll do it Sunday when I get home. I'm at grandma's. No, you're gonna come do it now, and then you can go back to your grandma's. I'm not coming there. No, you're gonna come do your laundry. You're gonna come do your laundry, and then you can go back to your grandma's. You got 15 minutes to get here. So I'm sitting there, 20 minutes goes by, doesn't show up. I called her back. I told you I wasn't coming home. I'm not coming there. I hate my life. I hate you. I don't want to be there. I said, listen, I get it, you frustrated, but you got to do your laundry. You either come do your laundry, or I'm coming to get your car and you grounded. You're not coming to get my car and I'm not coming home. Oh, okay. I guess I'm on my way to get your car then. And so what happened, she left. She went to Rite Aid and she went and bought a box of extra strength Tylenol, went back to her grandma's house. She had been previously, prior to that was telling me, I don't even want to live anymore. But, I wasn't paying. I just thought she was just hurting. And so she went to her grandma's, back to her grandma's, made some bath water, turned the music up, closed the door. And she took 30 extra strength Tylenol. Her grandpa came home, and when he came home, he had to use the restroom, knocked on the door, she didn't say anything. So he went back downstairs, kind of waited a second, asked his wife, how long she been in the bathroom? She's been up there for a while. He was like, wait a minute, she don't take baths. She takes showers, which was odd to him that she was taking a bath. He said, I got to use the bathroom. So he went back up there. Hey, honey, how long are you going to be in there? Grandpa has to use the bathroom. Still no reply. So what he did is he kind of cracked the door. He didn't want to walk in on her, but he cracked the door to kind of send his voice through the bathroom door. But when he did, he saw her hands draped over the bathtub. She was unresponsive. And they rushed her to the local hospital. There was nothing they could do for her. So they ended up sending her to the children's hospital, and she was in the ICU for 4 days. And man, when she went to the hospital, they called me. I got up there. They got security watching me visit my kid. At this point, man, I'm sorry about that.
No.
At this point, I'm just lost, man. My baby, I've raised this kid from birth, man. She's in this bad place. And so all these people are kind of watching me. I'm a bad dad. They didn't want me there. So child services got involved. And from there, they kind of ripped me up. It's your fault she's in this situation. You put her in this position. You don't need to have her. I hope I'm still out on bond at this point. I hope they put you underneath the jail. And I'm just broke, man, just in this state of just loss. So I leave the hospital. On my way home, I get a phone call from one of my buddies. Still love him to this day, one of my best friends. He was the person that, responsible for all my YouTube material. And I had my training was in 215 countries. I was starting to get endorsement emails from companies that wanted to represent me. And so he said, dude, I got some bad news for you, man. I said, I mean, it can't be worse than my kid being in the ICU. He said, dude, I can't do your videos anymore. I was like, what do you mean? He said, I'm sorry. I can't be affiliated with you with what you have going on. I just can't do your videos anymore. I was like, okay, man. All right. I understand. So I hung up. And then I just sat there, man, and just shook my head like, what is going on? This is crazy. And so I looked at my account the next day when I woke up, and I had $20,000 in it that I've been saving. And so I just said, you know what? I got up. I went and bought a whole production. I bought cameras, lights, software, and guess what? I didn't know how to use any of it. No knowledge, no experience. All I knew how to do was hit power. That's it. I had no idea how to use this stuff. I called this guy. I said, listen, man, no one wants to be around me, and I get it, but do you have anybody that was willing to come over here and help me teach me the software? He said, let me put some fillers out. One gentleman said, I would love to go help that guy. And dude came over my house twice a week for 3 months, taught me how to use the software. And at this point, I'm still just, my daughter's out of the hospital, still just real upset with me. My life is still in shambles, man. And I'm just in a place of just on this island. And I'm depressed. I feel like I let my uncle down because he had this dream, and I got this drug charge. My businesses are failing. People are leaving my gyms. I lost all my teams. I had a couple athletes, but I lost a lot of my clients. And so I'm just like, what's going to happen? All of a sudden, my account, right before that, I started sitting here thinking, like, what am I going to do? Like, I need a spark. Like, I need motivated. I need hope. I need a glimpse. I need something that's going to get me out of this pit. And that's when I realized the only person in this world that ever had influence over me was my uncle. He's the only person that could speak to me in my darkest time and motivate me. He's the only person that could say the right thing and light a fire under me. And it just was so apparent, like, this guy's dead. He ain't even here. What am I going to do? So what I thought about shortly after was all the movies that's ever impacted my life from a child. And when I was a child, I was molested twice before I was 6. My mom was a prostitute. My dad wasn't in my life. And so all I did was watch movies, things that gave me hope. So from my childhood to my adulthood, I always kept, in my mind, all the movies that impacted me. So I had $2,200 in my account, and I ordered $1,700 worth of movie posters. And so I ordered all these movie posters, and that's kind of what you see now. This is my man cave, but it's got 30 movie posters, and I just needed them around me. I needed these posters around me to give me energy, because when I would look at them, I looked at my Gandhi poster, which I love the Gandhi movie. And at this point, I'm still being beat up by the community. People want me in prison. And I needed that movie to really teach me how to walk in so much character and humility. I needed to watch how Gandhi dealt with persecution and how he dealt with judgment and how he walked in so much peace and love. I needed that. And I knew that I couldn't respond out of emotion, because if I did, I had 3 years of prison hanging over my head, so I couldn't get in trouble. And so I just started mimicking Gandhi's characteristics. And so my favorite movie of all time is right here. It's Kung Fu Panda. And yeah, man, Kung Fu Panda. And what really resonated with me is that flipping piece of paper that they was all going so crazy about. And in that movie, it was nothing. And they made mention that this represents whatever you wanted it to be, whatever you wanted to create. That's what that represents. That was just so powerful to me. And so I really leaned on that movie, because that's what brought me to this next place. So what I did is I had an understanding of how to use my software now. I took little Chris, he was 2 years old, to my gym, and I filmed me training him. Came home, I was excited. I'm sitting in this very spot right here, editing this video, threw it up on YouTube. I was so proud that I had my first video that I ever edited, threw it up on YouTube, and that was it. But the excitement was gone. I'm still in this situation. Now my account's in the negative, and my life is still in shambles. And so I was in a place where, okay, that paper in that movie represented whatever you wanted to create. So I decided to write myself a letter. And in this letter, it was the end of December. It was going into 2016. And I named the letter My 2016. And I took every aspect of my life, every detail of my life, and I wrote on that letter what I wanted my life to be, not what I was currently facing, what I wanted it to be. So I would read this three times a day, in the morning and in the afternoon, especially when I was down, and again at night. But I was just reading. I would read it, but I'm like, this is just words. But I needed to give this letter a heartbeat. And the only way I could give it a heartbeat to make it real to me is I had to add emotion to it. So I would start reading the letter, crying at times in a celebratory way, like, man, I got another chance. My life has been redeemed. Or I would read it from a humble state, like, man, wow, like, I really got a chance to really share my gift. I really didn't let my uncle down. And it just was from a humble state. So I would continue to do this, right? All along, I had no idea that Carl had already discovered me. And what he was doing is he was on his Malibu ranch running on some turf. And he came up with this idea to have an outdoor training program. And so he went on YouTube and he Googled workouts on turf. And the video that I filmed and edited was the video that he saw me training my son. And so it moved him to see me working with this 2-year-old through ladders. And then he went to my channel and then he saw all my work then. And then, so he looked me up. Oh, he's got a felony. He's got some legal problems. So this is why Carl is like hands down one of my favorite people in the world. Because at that moment, guys, he could have just said, I can't, that's baggage. Let's go on and look for more trainers. But what he said was, let's just keep an eye on him. There were some people from the company that they followed me on social media. I had no idea because they just liked my gym pages and they just watched me. In the meantime, they went to go look for another trainer for this outdoor program. And his wife, Isabel, told me in Punta Cana, she kept telling him, Downing is our guy. He's the guy. We got to have him. That's the guy. And Carl's like, yeah, but he has a legal problem. We got to kind of wait this out. She said, he is the one. I'm telling you, that's the guy. And then in the meantime, I'm still exercising this letter. I'm still connecting with this letter. I'm still bonding with this letter. Before you knew it, guys, I started attracting things that reflected this letter because this letter was real to me. My personal life, what was physically, all the things I was going through started slowly disappearing. And this letter, the things in this letter, my gym started getting restored. All of a sudden, I started getting new clients. I got another football team. I'm sitting there asking people like, y'all know I got a felony, right? I'm just like, all this stuff is coming back. And next thing you know, Beachbody called 5 months later. And Heather said, we've been watching you for a while. We want to make you the face of an outdoor program. But before we make you a rock star, that's what she said, a rock star. It's like, is there anything we should know about your past? So then I started singing like a bird. I said, yep, this is what happened. I told him about what I just told you guys. And she said, hold on, let me call Carl. She called Carl. Carl said, I believe in giving people second chances. If it's behind him, then let's move forward. And so I signed the deal August 20th. And then I left for LA a month and a half later. I went out there for 4.5 months to work on the outdoor program, which was not called Shift Shop. It was called OCD, which stood for Outdoors with Chris Downing. So we're out in the field and we're working on the program, and there's just a distraction like sirens and dogs barking, things that we couldn't control. And because of the nature of the way I train, how I like to talk to you and engage and kind of keep you in the moment, it was just too much of an interference. So Carl said, all right, scratch that idea. Let's take it back indoors, make it a 21-day program. We'll figure out the outdoor stuff later. So we take the program indoors. We still don't have a name because we can't say Outdoors with Chris Downing if we indoors. And so we have no name. And that's when we come together about the program. Like, what's your target audience? I said, listen, I got one shot at this. That's it. There's no guarantees I'm going to get a second chance. In fact, you guys might get ridiculed and persecuted for even bringing me on because I'm like the runt out of everybody. I'm like the stepchild, you know what I mean? So I said, the network might not receive me. I got one shot at this. This program has to be for everybody. And every day on my way to Beachbody, I would listen to Lose Yourself by Eminem, like religiously. And it just kept me in the moment because I knew that I never wanted Carl to have to address you guys and his company and say I made a mistake. I had to make sure I knocked this out the park. And so we went through the test group, got great results, still didn't have a name. Carl texts Jack 17 hours before the deadline. I got a name, Shift Shop. And Jack said, what do you think about Shift Shop? I said, what? I'm like, Shift Shop? Why? And then he said, I don't think Chris likes it. Well, if Chris don't like it, then it's not going to work. Let's meet tomorrow. So we met in Carl's office, and he said, so you don't like Shift Shop? I said, Carl, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't understand it. I can't connect with it. He said, let me explain. I was driving down La Brea Avenue, and all I saw was a bunch of shops. And I'm looking around, and it's just shops. And I started thinking, people bring their cars here to a shop, you open the garage, the car goes in, the car gets broken down, gets sanded, repainted. 3-4 weeks later, a person comes and gets this newly remodeled car. That's what you do to people. You break them down, you give them confidence, you reinvent them, you get them in shape, and you send them off the world to create great things. And I was like, so Shift Shop it is. And the shifting concept came from 25 minutes to extra 10 minutes each week to 35 to 45. So that's what we're back in rehearsal, working on the program. I'm shift shopping it. I'm in this shift shop, and all of a sudden, boom, it clicks. No. This is much bigger than an additional 10 minutes each week. That letter, there was a shift in that letter that changed my whole perception of what I could create. Oh no, this is much bigger than an extra 10 minutes. So what I did, guys, is I started taking all the hurt, all the pain, all the frustration, all the betrayal, all the setbacks, all the guilt that I experienced in that time frame when I got in trouble, and I put it all in the program and made it a personal development workout program. That's why it's so motivating. So in Punta Cana, the things that I was saying was actually the things that I went through. And the reason why I resonated with you guys so much is because it was real. Like I was pouring my soul out. And that's where Shift Shop really came from. And it's just a shift from, if you get a glimpse of your potential, it could change your life forever. And that's exactly what it did to me. So that's the Shift Shop.
I have nothing to say. Anybody else want to talk after that? I will, Chris, read you just a few.
Yeah. Roll the questions. Come on now. You done got me all emotional. Y'all ain't leaving me like that.
Hold on. Let Amy not cry. She doesn't do that very often. Oh boy, am I happening? I know that, the name sounds like it was just this random thing, but just from, the people that you've had go through the test group already, and from those 3 workouts that we went through in Punta Cana, the shift is so much more than just physical. Yeah. And this program is so much more. And you guys have spent, we've been 40 minutes right now, 35 with Chris talking. And I can guarantee you that every person on here, even reading the comments, chills, like you feel something. You are experiencing a tiny fraction of what this program is going to bring to you. It's not just more burpees. It's not just more, exercises. This is a physical thing. It's a challenge, but you're going to move spiritually, mentally, with your confidence, with the way that you approach the rest of your life, the way that you approach challenges. And I can't. This is a shift for the entire mission of our company. This is a shift for the entire network. This is it's it. I know it.
I had a this is crazy. So today I'm still in the last week of the test group. I have a morning group and a night group. And so I've been doing the workouts with them. So I did the second workout today.
Yeah.
So basically I just hit the Bluetooth, put the surround sound, in my gym. It's loud, it's cranking, and I got markers and I'm doing it. And man, today in Super Speed 50, I had a moment. I was drenched in sweat, but I was at a place in this program that would freak me out as I got motivated by myself. My own words spoke to me, it spooked me right out. But what happened is I was in this place because I felt like I was with everybody else. And that's probably one of the hardest things that even some of the people at Beachbody is like, Chris, you're always with the people. It's like Because I am the people. Like, I don't want to be on a stage away from people, like, because that's just not who I am. I don't see myself as a super trainer. I see myself as a person in a redemptive state, a person that had one shot, one opportunity to make the most of a situation. So today, like, we're in the trenches in this workout, and I had a moment, like, I was on my knees, sweat dripping on the markers, and a tear just dropped. Like, this is crazy that I am motivating myself right now when I'm at, like, when I want to be done. And I drove off when I left the gym today and was like, man, this program is powerful, man. It's so much bigger than me, man. It's so much. It's about everybody really asking themselves, what do you really want for yourself? Not what you think you can have, not what your family accomplished. No. What do you really want? I challenge everybody on this call. What dreams have you mentally aborted, that you gave up on? What insecurities from other people have you allowed to get on your life to choke you out your dreams, your goals, your purpose? Think about when you was a kid. Like, we all dream. You can't say you don't have dreams, because when we were all kids, all of us wanted to be Barbie and Ken. Then when they came out with that black Ken doll, I thought I was shit. I'm just being honest. When I saw that black Ken doll, I was like, they got a black Ken doll. I'm getting in the early. You know what I mean? So even at that state, like, we always wanted to be something. So I challenge you guys, before this program come out, write that letter. Like, what do you really, really want for yourself? And once you write that down, connect with those words. Make it real. Speak it every day. The times you're down, make that real. When you go in the program, you start hearing me speak to you, it's going to resonate with that letter. And that's right there is when you're going to say, oh my gosh, I got a glimpse of my potential. Then you're going to take that, you're going to reinvent yourself. When you come out of the program, you're going to be in better shape, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Then you're going to take that same empowerment and give it to your team, because you're going to be infectious. They're going to want to know, why is she so happy? Why does she have so much joy? You know why? Because you're walking in your purpose. You're walking in your best self. You're going to share that with your team. Your team's going to gravitate to it. They're going to make the shift. They're going to share it with their team. All of a sudden, everybody's business is going to grow. And I've said this, and I mean it. This program is going to be the biggest selling program in company history. Not because of me, because everybody's going to tap into their potential. I'm telling you right now, I believe it. Has nothing to do with me. Has everything to do with everybody understanding, oh my gosh, I am worthy. I deserve this lifestyle. I was created for this. Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. And then also, guys, when you're passing this, the same conviction that he's giving you, when you set up your challenge groups, please, I encourage you to do this program with your challengers, because you're going to engage in it that much more, but also understand the obligation really that you have to give them this gift of really setting it up for them, that it's not just workouts, guys. At the start of your program, you do your measurements, you do your pictures, and you write your letter. Like, make that as part of your challenge group. This is just as much, total everything shift as it is a physical shift. So please don't miss that opportunity, because that's really, we love to make an impact in people's lives. And this is a huge opportunity that I don't think we've ever had before, as far as a single program goes. So please definitely, think about that as you create your challenge groups.
And let me help you with your challenge groups. I just did it today. Someone had a little 1 week group. I told him to add me to the group. I popped in. He didn't know. Sent the team a message. Like, let me help you, because the whole shift concept, it has nothing to do with abs, has nothing to do with losing weight, has nothing to do with your body. It has everything to do with your spirit, everything to do with what you were created, the mindset you were created to have. That's what it's about. All that other stuff, the abs, the losing weight, and all that, those are perks. Those are just benefits that's part of your, bonus package. But there's no dollar amount, there's no physical appearance you can ever place on a person that's walking in their purpose. That's such a wealthy thing, that's where your wealth is. Everything you want is connected to your purpose. Everything. And I had to tell somebody the other day, they gave me this analogy. They said, well, how do you know if you're not walking in your purpose? I said, how do you accept? I said, it's easy, because you're getting beat up. like you're getting beat up with just life stuff that has nothing, you're taking on somebody else's stuff. I said, for example, say you go out to eat with your family, right? A family of 5, and the waiter comes. And the waiters, you order the food for your family, they leave, and then 15 minutes later, he's coming out with the trays, and he takes the food and he places the food on your table. But it's not your food. It's the table of 5 next to you. What's the first thing you're going to say? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. That's not our order. We didn't order that. And they're going to remove it, right? So if you can easily tell a waiter that's not your food, you can easily tell those voices that say you're not enough. You're depressed. You have anxiety. You're a failure. You're never going to accomplish your dream. Don't listen to that. Don't take that. You don't have to own that. That's not your stuff. You just look at it and say, I think you're supposed to be talking to somebody else because that's not part of who I am. Don't accept those voices, the people who want to give that to you. That's not your stuff. Don't own it, man. Don't let that touch in your life, because when you do, you're going to attract things in your life that's going to complement that. And that's why I think people are so, depressed and frustrated and not walking their purpose, because they've accepted some things that doesn't belong to them. I don't know how we just got on that. Whoops, sorry. Back to Shift Shop.
I think anybody has a problem with listening to Chris talk all night?
No. Where's the questions? Where's the questions?
I don't know that there are questions. Anybody has questions? I've been reading. I have chills. I can't wait. He blew his own mind. That was funny when you blew your own mind today at the gym. Humble. I'm going to write that letter. Yes, everybody, please write that letter. Amazing. Any surprises in the test group? I don't know what that means exactly.
The biggest surprise was not from my perspective. It was from their perspective, because, even my clients now, I always see people as perfect. I see people as their finished product. I just need them to see it. And everybody got a glimpse of it, and you can see it in the photos. And I'm not surprised one bit. I'm not, because this is what I see. Like, I see it before they even started the program, because I could see through their eyes. I could see that connection. And I just know that they're perfect already. They just need to see it.
Right. Okay. We do have one question. This is a pretty good one. And being that you've been an actual, trainer for all these years, and you do such a great job of firing up your clients, what is your recommendation for really helping motivate challengers who seem to burn out and don't stay committed?
Okay. So this is how you guys need to present the Shift Shop. So let's take it back to my story. The reason why it's resonating with you guys, because of that letter and how I had to make the shift from what I was going through to what I wanted. And then I took those emotions and put it in a program, and it resonated with you. Before you guys can present this to a challenger, present it to your team, you got to go in that program and make the shift for yourself. When you do, that's going to give you power. It's going to give you influence. I told you, it's going to make you infectious. You know why? Because you're going to come out more confident, in better shape. You're going to walk in power. You're going to have that glow. You're going to have that it factor resonating from your pores. You're going to see life through different lenses, right? That people want that. That's what they want. And that's when you're going to explain to them, this is what I did, because that's what I did to give it to you. And it's just a movement. It's just passing the torch. You're going to pass the torch to them, but you have to experience this for yourself. That's why that letter is hands down. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll tell everybody, if you don't write that letter, don't do the program, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it, man. You're going to miss it. Like, it's so much bigger than the physical. You got to write that letter.
Awesome. Okay. Any other questions? That was a good one, because I know that happens a lot. Nicole says, are these workouts going to work for beginners or more for intermediate and advanced?
It's going to work for everybody. The modification is zero impact. No impact whatsoever, so that there should be no problems on the joints, tendons, muscle, bones, so you're good there. And yeah, it's for anybody who truly is just sick and tired of being sick and tired, just really want to bring out the best in themselves. That's it. It's that simple. Yeah,
guys, in Punta Cana, there was every shape and size. I know people who haven't been to the Success Club trip sometimes think, oh, it's only fit people and I need to be a stick figure before I go. There's all shapes and sizes. People are at all different levels of their journey, and all shapes and sizes sat there and did the live workout with us. And it was something that everybody was able to push each other through. But that's, again, the importance of our community and what we do when, as we provide our services as uplifting coaches, as people who help people stay accountable, as we give them that support and we give them that push to really, even if they're modifying every single move. Even if they're moving, if they're listening even to Chris guide them through this, if they're doing the program as it's laid out and just modifying the movements, then that is a huge win. So don't, I wouldn't really, be thinking about who can't do it. I'm looking forward to the nutrition. Yeah. Nutrition, you got to do it, guys. Buck up, 3 weeks.
Here's a good question. Here's an answer to a question that I'm gonna help you out right now. This is probably one of the other biggest questions that pop up: space. So someone's gonna say, what if I don't have enough space? All right, this is my solution to it. So it goes back to that whole thing, and you hear that doubt. What's behind it, right? So someone tells me, I say I'm a coach, and a person says, I don't have enough space. Here's my advice to that person. Say you have a 5x5 or a 4x4 space. First of all, you need to be appreciative and grateful that you even have a space, number one. All right. So what you do is you want to maximize that space, even if it is small. You want to approach the workout as if it's a big space, but just give your all with what space is available to you. What's going to happen when you get done with the program? As I stated before, you're going to be more confident. You're going to be in better shape. You're going to see life through different lenses. You're going to make the shift. What's going to happen is you're going to take that to your team. Once you take that to your team, they're going to make the shift. They're going to take it to their team. Guess what's going to happen? Your revenue is going to grow. All of a sudden, you're still in this little apartment, in this little space, but your revenue is grown now, right? All because you maximize that space you had. You didn't listen to those voices of doubt that you can't perform this workout here. So now you have more revenue coming in and you decide, I want to buy a house or build a house. So you're looking for houses or you're thinking of building a house. So say you build a house. You build a house, you're going to create the size weight room you want. So guess what? Space is no longer an issue. Okay, hold that. Say you want to buy a house. You're going to look for, oh, this house is nice. It has a nice weight room area. So now you have a nice weight room area in both houses, right? So now you're thriving, your family's successful, your team is, your business is growing. Guess what happens when there's a new person that comes to the team and there's a new program out and they say, well, what about the space? What if you don't have enough space? Bam. Guess who has a testimony for them? Guess what? I had humble beginnings. I started out in a little apartment. Bam. There you go. You know how much power that is if you lived it? That's why the Shift Shop is touching people, because I lived that. The things I'm saying, I really lived it. So that's no different than if you started in small, humble beginnings and you grew your business and able to create the home you want. You can share that story with anybody. So really, there's no way to get out of this. If you want change, you got to make it happen. Somebody just told me in a call last week, they wanted to work out so bad, they stacked their furniture against the wall. That was so funny to me, man. But they got it done.
Yeah, because they had a strong enough reason why.
Yeah, you got to be desperate, man. You got to be desperate. You got to really want change. This is that simple.
Okay, I'm getting private messages, so I'll be the nosy one. Are you okay now? Is everything okay with your charges?
Yeah, about that. So what happened? Oh, no. That's good. That's a great question. So get this. This is hilarious. So right before, 2 months before I got in trouble, I was at this restaurant called Piata, and it's in the local here. And I had my kids with me, and so I paid for our food, and I looked to the left, and there was this long line of people, and I just felt convicted. So I left a $100 bill. I said, man, pay for everybody's food in this line, but just don't tell them who did it. And she said, are you serious? I said, shh, just don't tell them who did it. So people's meals were getting paid for. What I didn't know is the judge who sentenced me, I bought her food. So what happened was I got the Beachbody. Yeah, I was on probation for a year. When I got the contract with Beachbody, I took it to the judge. She let me on probation 2 years early. She said, I have no words for what you just accomplished. And she said, I've never let anybody off probation. She let me off 2 years early. So I have no, and then they're going to expunge it next March. So it gets off my record. So yeah, I kind of got looked out for me. They kind of looked out for me.
I was getting a bunch of private messages. Oh my goodness. Is he okay?
Oh, no, I'm joking.
I think he's a little bit more than okay. He's awesome. And we are so, so thankful, to have you in the Beachbody family with us. I know even just the integrity from Carl, it's so refreshing to hear, even though we know, how, and that's one of the reasons why I originally finally came to Beachbody, was because of the integrity that the company had, and even just with the way they developed their products and everything. But to hear that years later is still there, and they're really looking for, you know, who is best to connect our community and to really help forward our mission. So we're so thankful. Any other questions? How's
No,
your
I
daughter?
just need Wendy to do 50 burpees real quick though.
Uh-oh. You got spotted, Wendy. Wendy Spencer, you got spotted. I see.
I need you to do 50 burpees real quick. you and Caroline. I need 50 right now. In front of everybody. Make the shift. No.
All right. So what I expect from everybody, remember, what did you love about today's call and what did you learn? And I encourage you, write that down. Think about that for yourself. It's an amazing story, but let it impact you in a way that you're going to do something with it when we're done with this call. Go make a post about it. Go share this. Put this forward. You know, this isn't something that needs to stay, you know, as a secret for us. There's no scarcity here of great vibes and pride, positivity. Share it, you know, and really put it out there and get other people excited to experience this with us, because this is going to be it. But you got to do it. It's up to you. Okay. So anything else? Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you
All right, guys.
so much.
See you.
Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.